No, I haven't had discussions, and honestly, coming out of this, things are a little raw. Going to reflect a little bit, and we will address it when it's time to address it. It's not something I'm going to do in the media and publicly.
Michael, I think we're lucky amongst the Raptors media that we get to hear a lot from Masai Ujiri. I tell people that aren't in that room how interesting he is, whatever you're talking about. And the topics today on his season-ending news conference ran the gamut. But the biggest question that everybody wanted to know was what's his future with the Raptors? And that was one of the shorter answers of the day.
Right. He kind of left that one open, just saying it's not something he's had extensive discussions on with obviously team ownership, and timing seemed like a little bit of a factor there with use the word raw, just when you consider and step back and the intensity of what everyone was going through in the bubble, the existence of the pandemic, having just finished a season, having just come home after 11 weeks away from his family. You could understand why, the nitty-gritty of his own contract situation maybe wasn't top of mind, but the reality is it's going to be top of mind for a lot of people until it does get sorted out. So it's going to be an issue out there until it's not.
Well, Nick Nurse, we're just with that in the rearview mirror of him signing his extension, and Masai admitted that they're very close with the general manager, Bobby Webster. So does that tell you, given what you just said, that it's going to happen sooner rather than later if it does happen?
Yeah, you can read it either way, to be honest, Brad, because, he did say for him it was a priority to take care of his guys, take care of his team first. And, on that list, Nick Nurse is sort of the easiest and most obvious. And then, you go to Bobby Webster, and it's not just, Bobby Webster, it's the staff under them, the basketball operations people, Dan Tolzman, the scouting staff, Alex McKechnie, who, is a pretty important, the health science director, pretty important part of the equation. They're also all heading into the last year of his deal. And so, and really, you can interpret it either way. It could be he just wants to make sure that while he's got, leverage, he can kind of make sure that ownership takes care of all the people that are important to him, maybe even to a level that ownership would be less comfortable going in other circumstances. You can get them all top dollar. Or it could be, he wants to make sure they're all taken care of. And if you want to be a bit fearmongery about the whole thing, that he's kind of almost planning his exit. So, again, I'm not suggesting that's the case, but because we don't know at the moment, that's the kind of speculation that people will kind of run with.
Masai certainly, lent thoughts towards how unique a situation this was, to say the least. Everything else going on in the world, and they're locked in that bubble for longer than any other team going in. He talked glowingly. I'd never heard him go on that much about the players on this team, about the organization, and the way they handled everything. So it certainly sounds like he would like to be a part of it.
Well, there would be no reason for Masai Ujiri to leave. I mean, this is a first-class organization. He should know he's helped build it and has been maybe arguably the foundational piece when you look at where this organization is now from 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. So he knows exactly what he has and why it is a first-class, viewed as a first-class organization around the league. He's worked very hard to make it that way. He's got a good team, great appreciation for the community he's in. So, and I would also point out there's no obvious pivot point. Where would he go if you look around the NBA? There's no next obvious opportunity out there that we know of, that we can see. So again, I'll go back to what I've said a little bit on this topic earlier. There doesn't seem to be any particular wild card here. There's no kind of looming issue out there that could throw a wrench into everything. And everyone involved seems to hold the other party in the highest respect and the highest regard. They're all pretty rational actors. So you'd think, that all those things considered, that Masai Ujiri would be back in Toronto. He will sign an extension. It's just a matter of time. But until it does happen, people can let their imagination run wild.
I want to get quick thoughts before we go on. Kind of a microcosm of where the organization has come is where his relationship with Kyle Lowry has gotten to. And someone asked about the statue. He wouldn't bite on that, but he said, I hope it's another 10 years with this guy. And then he went off about how just the tone that he's set and the man that he's watched Kyle Lowry become. It was heartwarming to hear.
Absolutely. And we've all seen that from the outside and to a certain degree in interacting with Kyle over the years. But Masai Ujiri would know firsthand, clearly. And I think there's also another element there where, this is Kyle Lowry's the first time in his career, Kyle Lowry's had his own team. And there's been no co-star with DeMar DeRozan. He hasn't had to maybe take a step back, with Kawhi Leonard. This is really everything about this team has reflected Kyle Lowry and Nick Nurse and Masai Ujiri. And look at what it wrought. Just an amazing season basketball played, I think, the way most people love to watch it played. And just maximum effort and unselfishness and all those kinds of things. And it's a question of Kyle Lowry growing into that role. And once the opportunity the opportunity presented itself, running with it. And you're right, Brad. It's a good way to kind of bookend the Masai Ujiri era / Kyle Lowry era, and maybe they'll both have statues soon enough.
Good stuff. Continue to follow Michael's work on sportsnet.ca. Thanks for this, Mike.
Thanks, Brad.